All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We will call to order our workshop session, Monday, February the 9th, 2026. Don't have a lot on the workshop session. Discussion regarding any items on regular session for February 9th, 2026. And I don't see any. Discussion regarding any items not included on regular session for February 9th, 2026 for consideration on future agendas. No action can be taken by City Council. And there is none. And get a motion to adjourn the workshop session. That's the fastest one ever in history. Second. All in favor? Aye. All rise.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this great community, our nice little city, all of our good citizens here tonight, and our elected officials. We ask that you be with us, help us to make some good decisions for the betterment of your entire community. We ask that you watch over us in safety till we can meet again. Forgive us of our sins. As always, in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Ladies, join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor and protect the flag. I pledge allegiance to Jesus Christ, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
All right, we've got some great recognitions to recognize tonight and some proclamations we need to make. So I have lost my Dorothy stole my proclamation. Sustainable proclamation. Whereas the month of April marks a number of events celebrating environmentally sustainability, including Earth Day, Monarch Fest, Art in the Park, Month of the Military Child, One Community, One Day Volunteer, Park Cleanup, Steam Cleanup, Porch, Planet Festival, and Don't Mess with Texas Trash Off. Whereas the Central Texas Sustainable Community Partnership works to promote beautification, conservation, pollution prevention, and recycling through youth and community initiative and virtual outreach that educates and engages individuals to be good stewards of our environment. Whereas the 2026 theme of sustainable development emphasizes an objective, beneficial, and far-sighted approach to decision-making at all levels that encourage strong economic performance as well as equal access to resources for this and future generations. Whereas the citizens, business institutions, and communities within the partnership region are committed to the environmental preservation and sustainable in its own practice and encourages others to do the same. And now, therefore, we, the Central Texas Sustainable Community Partnership, do hereby proclaim April 2026 as Sustainable Environmental Month in the Central Texas region, dated this 26th day of March 2026. The next one up is Libraries Lovers Month.
Library Lovers Month Proclamation. Whereas libraries enable individuals to make informed decisions about their self-governance by promoting unrestricted access to information and by serving as community centers for lifelong learning. Whereas in a world undergoing constant change, libraries provide enduring connections to the past and future of our communities, nations, and civilizations. Whereas the expansion of electronic networks linking libraries and their resources makes possible better and more easily accessible information for library users around the world. Whereas libraries provide entry to important research about health, economics, housing, the environment, and countless other areas to support better living conditions and to help people lead longer, more productive, and fulfilling lives. Whereas libraries support a competitive workforce with basic literacy programs, computers, and other resources to help children and adults learn to find, evaluate, and use information they need for their jobs, health, education, and other needs. Whereas many libraries offer preschool, story time, and summer reading programs to encourage children to begin a habit of reading that will serve to benefit their personal and professional lives. And whereas over 14 million people in the state of Texas and over 6,200 residents in the county of Lampasas have library cards. Therefore, be it resolved that Mayor Herb Pierce of the City of Lampasas proclaimed February 2026 as the Library Lovers Month in Lampasas and urge everyone to visit libraries and thank a librarian for making this unique and wonderful institution possible.
Thank you, Councilman Hernandez. And with that, we'll move on to our resolutions. National Association of Women's in Construction. And Dorothy, Ms. Pearson will read that.
We have a resolution honoring Central Texas Women in Construction. Whereas the National Association of Women in Construction, Austin Chapter 7, has distinguished itself for 68 years as the voice of women in construction in Central Texas, with the City of Austin at its center. Whereas the work accomplished by the NAWIC Chapter Austin has significantly benefited community development initiatives and educational programs throughout the region. Whereas the NAWIC Austin Chapter 7 has unceasingly promoted employment, professional growth, and advancement of women within the construction industry. And whereas the construction community represented by the NAWIC Austin Chapter number 7 has been a driving force in fostering community development through renovation and beautification projects, the promotion of skilled trades, careers, and the advancement of a positive vision for the future. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of Lampasas, Texas, that the city hereby declares March 2nd through March 7th, 2026 as NAWIC Week. This resolution shall take effect immediately upon its passage.
And the next one up is Central Texas Water Lines.
Whereas the City of Lampasas, a political subdivision of the State of Texas, local government entity authorized to plan for and provide water, wastewater, and or related infrastructure services to its constituents. And whereas the Central Texas Water Alliance is a regional cooperative entity formed to facilitate coordination, planning, and strategic collaboration among participating entities to address regional water supply, infrastructure, and funding needs. And whereas membership in CTWA will allow the entity to participate in regional planning efforts, information sharing, and collaborative evaluation of infrastructure and funding opportunities that may benefit the entity and the region. And whereas membership in CTWA does not obligate the entity to fund, construct, or participate in any specific project unless expressly approved by the entity through separate future action. And whereas Chapter 791 of the Texas Government Code, the Interlocal Cooperation Act, authorizes local government entities to contract and cooperate with one another to perform governmental functions and services, including planning, coordination, and advisory activities related to water resources and infrastructure. And whereas the governing body of the entity has determined that participation in the CTWA is in the best interest of the entity and its customers' constituents. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of Lampasas that approval of membership hereby approved. The Lampasas City Council, City of Lampasas hereby approves the entity's membership in the CTWA and subject to the terms and conditions of the government documents, which is designation of a authorized representative being the city manager. Number 3, authorization to execute documents. Once again, the city manager is authorized to execute documents. And number 4, no financial commitment without further approval. The city council has separate approval, and the city of Lampasas has separate approval for any financial commitment. Number 5, interlocal cooperation authority. The city council and the city of Lampasas finds that participation in the CTWA is authorized under Chapter 791 Texas Government Code. Effective date, this resolution shall take effect immediately upon adoption, which is passed and adopted by the council on this 9th day of February, 2026.
Thank you, Councilman Gill. And the next one up, very special. If I could get Jackie Baltram and Roxanne Johnson to come up.
Roxanne couldn't make it, so just me.
Okay.
Thank you.
I've got something here for you. This is truly a community champion that you guys do. You do it above and beyond your job. You do it above and beyond yourself. And got something here to read that you guys, Miss Marshall and yourself, Jackie, you guys have created Friends of Lampasas Carefree Pantry Network, setting up a free pantry behind Jackie's law office. This has been enormously successful and well received, providing a share and swap opportunity for people to donate items and take items as they wish from their Facebook page. This group is dedicated to keeping donors, volunteers, and neighbors updated on pantry needs, upcoming events, and success stories. Together, we can fight food insecurity and ensure that everyone in our community has access to essential items. Important note, donations to the pantry are not tax deductible. We are a grassroots community effort, not a registered, not-profit. You can find the #1 pantry at 354 South Main Street in Lampasas, and a grass lot behind the office building. Look for the red fence and additional locations to be announced. You guys are truly community champions, and what I'd like, you guys have already given her, I'd like our council members to come get our picture made with you. So,
Your little sister, you wanna hold the sign? Here, hold this for me. Hold up the sign. Yeah, they all wanted to hide in the back. Do y'all wanna come take a picture? All right, come on. Go ahead. All right.
Get started next week. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Well, that was good. That's kind of what we did for here, right? Next item up, citizens' comment. Any citizen who desires to address the city council on a matter not included on the agenda may do so at this time. For possible posting and discussion by council on future agendas, the city council may not deliberate on items presented up underneath this agenda item. And there is none. Oh, that's okay. We're in the next one. All right, we have Mr. McGuire from the museum.
Hi, I'm Randy McGuire. I'm the president of the Lampasas County Museum Foundation, and I'm here to invite you to the courthouse on February 15th. That's a Sunday at 2 o'clock. We have a lady, Mary Helen Dodson, that's going to have a presentation there. She's the great-granddaughter of Wesley Clark Dodson, who designed and was the architect for the courthouse. So we're going to have a little, she'll have about a 45-minute talk, 45-minute talk. And then Randy Judge Hoyer is going to conduct a tour. And then after that, we're going to have an open house at the museum. So just like to invite everyone to that. We've got some flyers, I'll leave them in the back there. But
Thank you very much.
Randy, is it in the upper district court room?
I'm sorry?
Are you meeting in the district courtroom upstairs? on
Yes,
Sunday?
yeah, we'll be meeting up there. We'll have a, like, show and presentation up there.
Thank you.
Any other questions or anything? Thank you, Mr. McGuire. One point two, citizens comment. Any citizen who desires to address the city council on a matter that is included on the agenda may do so at this time. And I don't think we have any. 1.3, public hearing to receive citizens' comments to consider a request to rezone property being 144.996 acres out of the Daniel Stanley Survey Abstract 0631, more specifically being the Lampasas Economic Development Corporation Business Park located on South US Highway 183 from an area zoned Business Park Zone 1, BPZ1, Business Park Zone 2, BPZ2, and Business Park Zone BPZ3 to Business Park Zone BPZ3. I did pretty
You did a
good.
great job, actually. Mayor and Council, the Lampasas Economic Development Corporation is asking the approval, denial, or approval with modifications, a request to rezone the property from a mixture of you did better than me, BPZ 1, 2, and 3 to solely BPZ 3. This did go to the Planning Commission last Thursday and passed with a 6-0 vote.
It went last Thursday or December 4th?
Last Thursday. My bad. I did not update that date.
What's the end, what's the purpose?
There is a potential business that is looking to move in out there. With the lot that they're looking at purchasing, we would need to rezone to be able to fit them into that zoning, but also, so the lot, so I just just want her to pull up the zoning map on the packet.
The primary purpose of rezoning the entire business park is because there's inconsistent zoning on single lots. So there are a couple of lots that have multiple zoning designations to them, and that is not allowed.
So on the
So a
map
lot of this
up
is
there,
cleaning up.
So you're looking at making it all the same.
Correct, to the most inclusive use at the business park, rather than the more restricted uses up front. But just carrying the most inclusive uses for
I assume that's what it was.
yes,
The agreements.
for
The
example.
least restrictive of all.
Correct, and if you look where it says around the lot that surrounds the ag zoning, it's zoned BZP 1, BZP 2, and then BZP 1. So there's two separate zoning designations for that one singular lot, which just creates some problems as we're looking at moving
And you
forward.
received no comments from the surrounding.
I sent out a notice to 18 property owners and did not receive any letters in favor or opposition. There's a total of 5 lots there. We've been marketing it like this, but we need to clean it up to actually show what's accurately out there.
Assuming EDC proper corporation doesn't have an issue with this.
They're the ones that asked me to do
Okay.
this.
You said there's a total of 5 lots, but I think I see more than that.
So there's 3 lots on the left-hand side. Circulating around that ag spot is 1 lot, and then on that bottom section, that's also 1 lot.
So on the map, it should see BPZ1 instead of BZP.
So
We're looking at the
this,
same
this,
thing.
this
You're right.
accurately reflects how it's zoned currently, which is where we're running into the issue that there's multiple zoning designations in a singular lot, which is what we're attempting to do.
Yes, so it should be BPZ, not BZP. We're fixing it.
Do we have an action item on this?
There is an action item for the ordinance later on. This is just a public hearing.
Any other questions?
Can you set it in a comment?
Comment? Go to the consent agenda, discussion and possible action regarding approval of minutes of the regular meetings held on February 2nd, 2026. Discussion and possible action regarding the approval of minutes of the special meeting held on February 3rd, 2026. Discussion and possible action regarding the second reading of the ordinance amending Appendix A of the City Code fee schedule concerning fees for Chapter 54 Parks and Recreation, hostess house rental fees, providing a repeal of conflicting ordinances, providing a repeal of severability clause, and providing an effective date.
I move to approve a consent agenda.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Board and department reports, city managers, operational report.
Mayor and council, just a few items. There will be an LCRA Steps Forward Day. LCRA and City Crews will be participating in an annual Steps Forward Day on Friday, April 10th. This year's project will focus on the cleanup of W. Brook Park. We of course welcome any volunteers that would like to assist in the cleanup. We'll release more details as that date gets closer. Auditors have been on site. Last week was their first week in the office, so they're completing fieldwork component of the FY25 audit. And we appear to be on track for March delivery at this time. The municipal court wanted us to let folks know that they're going to be starting up their annual warrant resolution program today. And just a couple of notes on the hostess house. There are a few items that need to be taken care of for the building to be able to pass its fire inspection prior to issuing a CO, and the ADA inspection is scheduled for this Wednesday, so should be complete this week. There's a couple of items that we're waiting to hear when the range hood inspection and things will be through San Saba Fire, but we're anticipating those getting done fairly quickly, so we should be good to open next week.
Great. All right, 3.2, upcoming special event meetings.
This coming Friday, February 13th, is the deadline for filing a place on the May 2nd, 2026 ballot. I have received 2 applications so far. February 16th, next Monday, all city offices are closed for President's Day.
New business, discussion and possible action regarding request from 2Q Ranch Productions for hot funds for the Ranch Versatility Show and Buckle Series in the amount of $10,000.
Mayor and Council, city staff received the attached application for hot funds from 2Q Ranch Productions for their Ranch Versatility Shows and Buckle Series. The request is for $10,000. I would just notate that our fiscal year starts October 1st, so 2 of these events are next fiscal year, and we can't allocate funds for that until budget workshops. So as of right now, there are 2 events on here that would qualify for hot funding. And I do believe that Melanie and Alexandra are here. They'd like to do a little bit of a presentation for you.
Hi, Mayor and City Council members. Thank you so much for allowing us to speak with you tonight. I'm Melanie Vague, and this is Alexandra McStay. We are with 2Q Ranch Productions, and we are a locally grown horse show production company with 4 shows planned for the 2026 year, with potential clinics, also to be held, multiple day clinics to be held at Bar 17 Arena in Lampasas. We are drawing riders from all over the state and even out of state into the city, with 105 riders planned for our February 14th show. Multiple of those, hopefully around 30 to 40 riders are planned to stay overnight multiple days. We have made arrangements with several hotels in the area to provide discounts to travelers from out of town. And we are expecting a very generous turnout for the city.
And that is just for our first show, the 105 riders.
That's one this weekend?
Yes, sir.
And that's March 17th, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what's the horse show? Tell us about that. What does it look like?
Yeah, sure. So Ranch Horse Versatility is one of the fastest growing segments in the
Say that again, I didn't hear that.
Ranch Horse Versatility is one of the fastest and largest growing segments within the Western riding industry. It is tapping into people who have not previously shown before because it is applicable to the working ranch horse. We have everything from children who ride their horses in the backyard that want to try to do something different to professional trainers who are bringing their clients in from the greater Texas area as well as out of state. It is multiple classes. We are offering ranch trail, ranch rail, ranch reining, ranch pleasure, and ranch riding. So it's 5, or I'm sorry, and I'm missing one. Trail, rail, horsemanship, I'm sorry, and horsemanship. So there's 6 classes that are going on during the day. Our schooling show is just that. It is for people who have not done this before, who want to gain skills so that they can go on later and compete in bigger organizations or just stay with us. We are starting our first show on Saturday morning at 7:30, and with 105 riders, I suspect we will not be done before midnight. There are a lot of people coming that are very excited. We have a huge following across the equestrian industry, sponsors from national sponsors down to local grassroots trainers and stores in the area. It's a lot of fun, and it is just great to both ride in and host. hours.
And these are just one-day events, is that correct?
So right now, we are scheduled for a one-day event. However, with our popularity, we're looking at having to move to a 2-day format just because of the amount of riders and for safety concerns. We don't want people on the road at midnight after they've been showing all day.
And then, and if I can expand on that a little further, we're starting our shows very early in the morning, so the majority of our riders will be coming in Friday evening and spending the night so that they can be here and ready to compete at 7:30.
And what would these hot funds, what would they be used for?
Yeah, so our plans, we would like to work on a few things. One of them is a stay, ride, and play social media campaign where we will bring in some professionals to help us do a little bit better social media advertising with videos and stuff, highlighting local businesses and other things to do in the area. Since we are going to be a multiple day format moving forward, and we're even going to be expanding to add clinicians that will come in for a several day clinic, that we expect this to even turn into 4 to 5 day events.
We want to be able to showcase all that Lampasas has to offer, from restaurants to shopping to other places to stay within Lampasas, activities that might be going on during our time frame, so that your whole family can come. It's not just you and your horse; it's your
Right. Even
your husband, your
Even
children,
if your husband doesn't
friends.
ride horses, we have other things for him to do while we're doing our horse thing. Absolutely. We also plan on bringing in some internationally known clinicians to be our judges. With the clinicians that we have spoken with that have confirmed their interest in coming and working with us, we think we will probably draw people from Oklahoma and Arkansas and Louisiana and all over, because these are known in the international AQHA world.
And so we would use the hot funds to help promote Lampasas as a destination, as well as everything that we have to offer. We would help bring in those clinicians to also drive attendance to our shows, which of course increases economic impact from hotel stays to fuel to restaurants and to shopping.
How did you guys come up with $10,000 range?
Well, we were coming up with a number that seemed reasonable across the 4 shows. We are happy to amend that number, considering that the fiscal year for our October and December shows. It just gives us a little bit of a cushion to be able to afford those more internationally known clinicians, and our social media campaigns, videographers and photographers are expensive. So it is a small portion of our overall budget.
Where do they have some other shows at other locations?
No, ma'am.
Not currently. We have hosted 2 clinics over in Burnett this year with humongous turnout, and we are hoping to even expand that and maybe even work with the 580 Sports Complex to put on some clinics here in town.
I did look at your Facebook page in order to understand what it is you're
Absolutely.
doing. So I appreciate that, but there was also something about this weekend, something is canceled or something didn't work out?
No, so we are trying to plan for every eventuality. And our trail clinic, or our trail course, thank you, is outdoors. And that is because we wanted to try to make the show run as smoothly as possible with all of our competitors, and there is a chance of rain in the forecast, which is why we are looking at potentially going to a 2-day format this weekend, so that we can move the trail course inside on Sunday in case it rains. So nothing is canceled.
We're just extending the show.
Yes.
So for another night,
And
which we've had multiple people reach out to us and request our hotel discount code so that they can go on ahead and book that additional night.
And my other question was, some of the facilities at Bar 17 allow for hotel or overnight stays at that area.
Yes, ma'am.
Hot funds are based on hotels in the city.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you accommodate that? You need to have hot funds within the city.
Yeah, so we do have our discount codes at Best Western and at Quality Inn that we are promoting on our website and also via direct contact and our Facebook page. So that way people can stay in town, but they can leave their horses in the stalls at Bar 17 where they're secure.
And so that will allow you some tracking to be able
Yes,
to.
Yes, ma'am, exactly. Also, Bar 17 accommodations are limited. There's only 8 rooms at the lodge, and there are only 14 RV hookups, and we have 105 riders coming in, 96% of which are from out of Lampasas.
6% are with
Yes,
that?
sir.
Not from Lampasas?
Yes, sir.
Okay, wow.
I kind of was questioning the $10,000 too, where that came from, and I get that you want a little cushion. And like we discussed already, that our fiscal year begins October 1. So we're just basically looking at 2 of these events for this fiscal year. And I was all day I've been just going back and forth in my mind of where $10,000 came from. And I thought about the Spring Hoe Committee. Y'all are familiar with that, right?
Yes.
So, that's a 7-day event, and it's hosted here in the city limits of Lampasas, and there's thousands and thousands of people that come to it.
Right.
And we generally give around $7,500 for that in hot funds, and so y'all are like 34% higher for 4 days.
Right.
And so I guess I'm having a hard time seeing the 10 grand. I mean, I get the idea of a little bit of cushion, but and I understand that hot funds are they're not ours. They're paid from people staying in hotels, but we are the keeper of the gate.
Absolutely.
We've got to be good stewards of it. And so I would kind of like to, I'm for y'all. I want you to understand that. I'm completely for you. But I just don't know that the first year of this, we should do the full amount.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Absolutely. And just to expand on some of the concerns that you raised, so our show is 1 day, which we are talking about going on ahead and just moving it to 2 days moving forward, just because of the number of riders that we have interested now. But the September, October, and November shows will actually be a longer event. The clinics that will follow the shows will be 2 to 3 day long clinics. So moving further, it will be more days of people staying in town, not just the 4 nights for the show, if that makes sense.
I'm thinking that I agree with Eric that we're talking in this fiscal year 2 days, 2 events anyway, so that's 5,000 rather than 10.
Yes, sir.
And in that you're just beginning something less than that. I think it would be maybe a $3,000 amount would be more fitting to what you're doing this year. Anything different or?
I was kind of on the same lines. I was thinking half of that, 5,000 to 2,500, but 3,000, I mean, that's close enough. And
I agree with Eric. I guess too, it would be really cool. The Spring Hoe, they have a long history, and so you kind of look back and we can be guaranteed that they're going to bring in X amount of people. You guys are just starting out. I can almost guarantee you come back to council next year and up here, and you say, hey, we've had 200 people here and this and that, what happened? You've got a database for and a track history for us to be able to make these types of decisions. It's really, really hard to make a decision without, it's kind of like me being in business and going to the bank without ever making a dollar.
Totally understand that.
And
We are grateful for any help we
Yes.
can get. Just for us to bring in a clinician, we're looking, we just got done talking to Krista Brown from Dublin, Ireland. She is a huge social media influencer and very well-known AQHA board member, AQHA lead member. Just for us to bring her in alone is going to cost us about $5,000. So clinician fees are a significant expense for us. They don't account for even half of our total budget. But just so you guys know, we're
And that is about the rough estimate of every clinician that is in the Ranchers Versatility world that would attract more people to come. When we started this venture, we thought, we'll just do something small, but then we realized from talking to our riders who has expressed interest that they were hungry. They want to be educated. They want to have a quality environment. They want to learn from someone that they can't normally learn from because of distance or cost, which is why we are asking for hot funds to help bring those people in, to help attract people to come in. Because even bringing someone from Oklahoma or Texas, their fees are such that they are all very similar across the board. And I know that when we've told people we're looking at Krista Brown or Johnny Flores or Bud Lion, the excitement goes across the roof and people are like, sign me up, we'll do it. I don't care how much it is. We will be there. We will stay for the 5 days. We'll take off work. And so those are all people who we would be bringing here to Lampasas, that if we didn't have those clinicians, they might not come because it's not that education that they are craving.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for y'all, and I hope that y'all have huge success in this. I'm not trying to rain on your
Oh,
parade.
absolutely. No. We're trying to help address your concerns too.
Right.
I would like to know, like, how do you make money? Tell us what that looks like. Is there an entry fee?
Yes, there is. It's about $150 per entrant to ride for the day, including class fees and office fees. They also pay independently to Bar 17 for stall fees and lodging and RV hookups and those kind of things.
And so our goal this year was actually not to make money, because we wanted to put it all back into growing this.
And coming back next year.
Exactly. Yeah, our vision is creating something that lasts for our kids, because our kids like this and they want to ride, for my neighbor's daughter who's just starting. And if we take a salary or we take a cut, we can't be guaranteed that we can grow it.
Are you guys going out for sponsorships?
We are, yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
We have several sponsors locally and nationally
Okay.
currently. Yes,
Awesome.
absolutely.
That's
So
what I was wondering.
they help us, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we recognize that we are just starting and that we don't have the data to back up what we're asking for. I will say that we have put on other events, not necessarily of this magnitude, but other equestrian events where we have sold out and had great feedback and people who have come back year after year. This is a little bit of a departure from our normal equestrian event, but I feel like it is one that has a lot of traction in the equestrian community and a lot of chance to not only help people do something they love, but to grow them in their sport.
We have funds in our hot funds available.
Yes, ma'am. We budgeted about $25,000 for organizational requests this year based on historical allocations. There's about $13,000 that wouldn't be allocated to the Chamber of Commerce or Spring Hoe. I would just like to make a note, and it's not, whatever funding level the council feels appropriate, it's great. I just want to remind the council that hot funds in this format are intended to help an event get off the ground, and as they become established and more successful, taper off the amount of that contribution once they're established and hopefully able to generate enough money to supplement their marketing and eventually wean them off of that hot fund contribution, so that goes back into the pot for new events and things like that. So generally the intent with the hot fund grants is to start out strong with them and taper off.
So when we approve these, is there any kind of I'm assuming that it's paid out like 60 days after the event. Is that
right? So our application indicates that they need to create a post-event report to submit to us for their reimbursement. And
what all is on that report? Does it show like how many hotel stays were in Lampasas, or can we ask people putting these events on if they could do some kind of post-event survey to see how many hotels were?
So the city doesn't have a standardized format that they use for that currently, but we can certainly, I've used one in a previous municipality that they need to do a survey of their participants and gather information on where they stayed, how many nights they spent there. Oh, by the way, how many people in your party? How did you go out to eat? Did you buy gas? Did you go to the grocery store? And then there's some general formulas from that survey information that you can use to extrapolate the actual economic impact of the event.
So there's certain thresholds from your experience, are there certain thresholds that groups have to meet before the funds are released?
I think the general idea is that you're asking the event organizer to substantiate that they are increasing the tourism industry in the city limits. So there's not necessarily this many hotel nights get you X amount of money. There's not some standard formula to that also.
So they would submit information to you so that, or to the staff, so that that has to be documented and it has to be, it might not go up to whatever amount we approve tonight if we do it. It might be something less than that based on the review.
In my general experience, when the council has said this is how much you're getting, they will get that amount for that event, but those numbers will be taken into consideration when analyzing future contributions of hot funds.
And you're aware that our budgeting season is coming up and this is an unusual request in the middle of the budget.
We are aware of that now.
We were not aware of that before you told us.
That was like a Sunday night staring at the ceiling thought, oh my gosh, there's this splits, their calendar year splits our fiscal year.
So when we make a motion, can we split that, how we word it, can we split two different amounts into two different events?
So if you wanted to do X amount for the February event and Y amount for the September event.
Yeah. I was thinking
That'd be 15. Yeah.
I make a motion to approve hot funding request of $1,500 for the event February 14th, 2026, and $1,500 for the event in September 25th, 2026. 2Q Productions for hot funds for the ranch versatility shows and buckle series.
I second.
Any discussion? Questions? All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you all for your time. We appreciate it. We look forward to working with y'all next year too.
Ladies, we will be adopting our budget for FY27 in September, so I know that's gonna be a hectic time for you, but if you can submit that request earlier, then we can consider that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, the next one up, 4.2, discussion and possible action regarding request from TFWC, the 36 Club for hot funds for the Lampasas County Fair in the amount of $1,000.
Mayor and council, the attached request for hot funding was submitted by Julie Cheney with the TFWC, the 36 Club. They will be hosting a Lampasas County Fair during the week of Spring Hope, and they're requesting $1,000. And Julie is here; she'd like to speak with you. Julie.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Julie Cheney, and I'm the president of Lampasas 36 Club. I'm here to respectfully request funds from the hot funds to support an advertising campaign to promote the upcoming Lampasas County Fair. The fair is held yearly, and we've been hosting it for the last 5 years. It will be held this year at the Presbyterian Church in conjunction with Spring Hill activities. The fair is designed for members of Lampasas and surrounding counties to exhibit their homemade and handmade products in such categories as art, photography, textiles like sewing and quilting, baking, canned goods, crafts, and others. We are requesting $1,000 to help with the cost of advertising. For example, flyers, newspaper ads, radio press, mailings, and to bring in visitors to stay, as it is a 3-day event. Dine and enjoy all that Lampasas has to offer, and including the Lampasas County Fair. We have lost some funding this year, and we need those funds so the fair can continue to bring in approximately 400 to 500 visitors to the event. We have made this family friendly last year by including children, immediate, and adult divisions and welcoming visiting grandchildren, nieces, nephews, to those who have friends and relatives and other towns. We also host 12 judges that are mostly not from Lampasas as well. We do understand that we will need to provide accountability and measurable outcomes. We plan to do this by adding a questionnaire onto the registration form that asks about accommodations and dining out. We want visitors to be sure and check out the other items of interest around town to stay, play, dine, and shop. Thank you for your time and consideration for this request on behalf of the Lampasas 36 Club. Any questions?
I have a couple questions. Julie, you and I talked a bit earlier this week, and as I understand, you had some funding changes, and that's what's bringing
We
you
did.
to our council.
The AgriLife County office used to fund us in like clerical things for like copies and advertising and catalogs that are necessary, judging forms and things like that, and supplies for the fair. They have backed out this year, and our club we're a small club, we're 32 women in Lampasas that are community minded. We do stuff in the community all the time, and we just don't have the funds that we need to put the fair. It costs about $1,600 to put the fair on. Our budget can handle some of it, so therefore we're just requesting for the advertising part. We want to expand to like some of the surrounding newspapers, and I don't know if y'all know, been advertising lately, but it's very expensive. So we want to do some like in Killeen and Congress Road, toward Adamsville, that way.
That was one of my questions, what your total budget is for this event. You said $1,600 is the whole event.
It's about $1,600. We are all volunteer services. We have, like I said, it is a 3-day event. We have registration on one day. We have the actual judging of the fair, on the next day, and the following day is viewing. We have lots and lots of visitors that come through to see, to see the exhibits. We also want to make it, like I said, family friendly. So if you have a grandchild that's visiting from another town or state or whatever, they can come, and something that you could do together and enter those as well.
So, I appreciate y'all putting this on. My children participate in this
I
event
remember, yeah.
every year. But that aside, one of my main questions here is, I've been going down there for several years, and I don't see any entries of people from outside of our community. One of the main things about Hot Funds is it has to bring people to hotels. Can you explain how this event?
We hope to bring people from other communities in through the advertising. We really started that last year, and because we don't really have any proof because this is our first year, of requesting the funds. But we're hoping that people that come from out, like I know we have 12 judges that come from out of town. We have grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, whatever, that come to see their family and friends who have entered. And they also eat, shop, hang out, that's the whole.
Yeah, I understand the other economic impact, but one of the main criteria is it has to put people in hotels and.
Right, people that come to see it.
If I may speak, I'm on the Spring Home Committee, and one of the things that we did last summer was the first year that we enacted it, that we brought in the categories to where you don't have to be just from Lampasas County. So that opened it up to everyone else coming in to compete, and we made that change in our manual, and you can see it in comparison from last year when we reviewed it. So that opens it up. There's just this past summer, so it just started for that, but we have entries, and we had talked about that we have so many family members and other relatives who come and visit us during Spring Hoe, because everybody wants to go to Spring Hoe, and they would bring their children and they bring others to come in and to allow them to enter, because it's a pride and it's joy. And then it also ties in not just Spring Hoe, but the farmers market, because people compete for these awards and they take great pride in announcing and promoting their marketable products at the farmers market, that they're the blue ribbon of the Lampasas County Fair, and they use that for promotion, and that's throughout the year.
So that's how we bring in other people from other communities, and from the farmers market to the spring hoe, and then like I said, the new change that we just made this summer, opening it up to outside of the
So
surrounding
y'all,
counties.
last year, y'all opened it up to outside?
Yes.
So that's great, you have some data. Can you tell me, how many of those entries were from out of town? From outside the community?
I would say probably 40.
Out of, what's the total entry?
Our total, I think, was 404 entries.
One of my questions was, you hold this during the spring hoe time period, but you're considered a county fair. Is that correct? Part of the county fair? Is that a correct understanding?
It's in conjunction, yes,
Okay.
at the same time.
And even with that, being a part of the county fair, you're not receiving any assistance from the extension office on this?
No, not this year.
And you also don't receive funds from the spring hoe committee?
We received $300.
$300 from the spring hoe. Again, one of my concerns is this comes up during the middle of the budget season, and in the future, if this was to continue to happen, go through the budgeting process, I believe.
No, there are funds in this fiscal year.
We prefer them, I prefer them to come during the budgeting process.
So historically, we budget X amount of dollars for events as they come through we don't typically hear hot fund requests during budget sessions.
Unless they're large. Is that?
The chamber.
The chamber's budget is considered during our budget season, and they're typically the only one. The only one previous was Christmas on the Creek.
In your opinion, does this event meet the criteria for Fund 40?
I'm concerned that it's a stretch. I do see that they meet some of the art requirements, promotion of the arts, so they do have that component. What are the hours of the county fair stretches 3 days? Is that July 8th through 10th?
Yes, it is. Well, that's what it was last year. It's the 8th through 10th spring hoe this year? I mean, is that when it starts, the 8th?
It's Wednesday, Thursday.
Right, it's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. That's spring.
And what hours are you open?
The hours?
Hours of the day.
On Wednesday is registration. We start at 4 o'clock and we go till 7:30. On Thursday is all day. Just all day long. And Friday is until 2 o'clock.
So all day means 7:30 again, or means 5 o'clock?
What are the hours?
On the Thursday?
Thursday,
all
I think
day,
we start at 9
9 till.
and it goes all day till 5:30.
Are y'all trying to get any types of donations from other?
We have had sponsors in the past, a few sponsors, mostly club members. We have women in our club that own businesses in town, and we have had some sponsors from those people. That is great. We're still going to use sponsors as well, because this is only a part of, the inner workings of it. But so we'll have to use those as well too.
We ran into an issue with the Spring Hoe Committee because they don't want us to use the word sponsors, and so we've actually changed it to supporters. And actually, I think all of us here are all small business
Yes.
owners. We've all contributed in the past, so we're considered supporters. Because the Spring Hoe Committee actually sells our name, the county fair, for about $3,000, and they give us about $300. So, and they don't really like us requesting sponsors because it interferes with their sponsorship for their brochures and putting a commercial name onto our event. So that's one of the other things that we've gotten some pushback from, and so we're kind of in a tough spot. And because if we can raise the funds, like so, we've got small business owners, and we can get sponsors, we can do that. But they're kind of holding our hands behind our back and saying, we want you to do the event, but we're only going to give you $300 to do it. And the other organization is no longer able to help. So
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing I'm having is just making sure that we meet the criteria for hot funds, and honestly, I don't see it right now. I would maybe like to see y'all try to get some supporter donations.
I would like to see us consider a smaller amount, but with that lack of history, I think that's the biggest drawback here for
Okay,
us.
500, is that what you're looking at?
Am I misunderstanding this? You said your budget is about $1,600, and if we were to give you $1,000 and you get $300 from Spring Hub, you might need to come up with $300.
Our budget for advertising is about $1,600.
Okay, that's what I was misunderstanding. You said the event.
Yes, no, our budget for, I'm sorry, I did
Okay.
misrepresented that. But yes, you know,
That would be over half the budget.
yeah, we have
Have you gone to the
been
county?
to the county
Yeah.
also to request funds, and it is past their budgeting time, and it did not consider us for any money at all. So it was suggested that we, you know, try, I mean, the county fair benefits the community, brings people in, it's a lot of fun, and, you know, we hope y'all come by and visit us, but it's expensive.
Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve hot funding for a request of $500 to the TFWC, the 36 Club.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank y'all very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
All right, now we go to the photo contest. Selection of the winner of the city photo contest. Entry.
Make a motion on entry 2.
Second. All in favor?
You showing them all? Nice.
All right, is it just two? No, there's what?
Three.
Three.
Come on, two.
I'm sticking with 2.
Aye, so it's
Okay, two is motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
4.4, discussion and possible action concerning approval of new 5-year lease agreement between Hope Caterpillar Financial and the city of Lampasas for a new 2026 420 XE Caterpillar backhoe and a new 2026 308 CR Caterpillar excavator in the amount of $4,417.94 per month. $53,000 annually.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I actually have 2 requests on this agenda item. The first one is the approval of the new 5-year rental lease agreement for the 2 pieces of equipment. And the second is to approve the buyback of the current 308 excavator for $75,750 to cover both balloon payments and purchase the 2021 backhoe.
So that you're 75,000 within the presentation of information use.
Yes, ma'am.
Say that all one more time.
Yes, sir. So, like most leases, I have 2 pieces of equipment, and they come up at the end of March. So,
They've been on the lease or they've been on purchase?
they've been on the lease, so we've had them for 5 years. And we have the option of 1, returning them, both, and starting a new lease on 2 new pieces of equipment, or returning 1 and keeping 1. And that's what we're doing now, because we have an 05 backhoe that's not dependable anymore. So we'd like to purchase that one with the funds from the lease buyback from CAT. the county's gonna buy back the 308 excavator for $75,750, which covers both balloon payments for both current lease equipment with a remaining credit of $150.
Okay, I'm following.
Okay.
These were budgeted items, is that correct? Or,
I forgot. It got crossed up in my years.
okay, so these accounts that are coming through, I'm assuming those account numbers is water and the other is wastewater, is that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's the two current line items that I'm paying the lease agreement out of now.
And that would just continue.
Yes, ma'am.
Make a motion to approve the new 5-year lease agreement and trade transaction with Holt Caterpillar Financial and authorize the city manager to execute related documents with the amounts listed. The trade of $75,750 and then the per month of $4,417.94 for the Caterpillar 2026 Caterpillar 308 CR.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
4.5, discussion and possible action regarding the first reading of ordinance amending the Lampasas Code of Ordinance regarding request to rezone property being 144.996 acres of Daniel Stanley Survey Abstract 0631, more specifically being the Lampasas Economic Development Corporation Business Park located on the South US Highway 183 from an area zone Business Park Zone 1.
Done.
Mayor and council, this is the ordinance that follows with the public hearing that was earlier this evening to rezone the entire business park from a mixture of BPZ 1, 2, and 3 to a solid BPZ 3 across the board.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
We get a motion to adjourn into executive session.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
City of Lampasas, the City of Lampasas, Texas will meet and close executive session pursuant to the Texas Government Code, Chapter 551 as follows. Section 551087, economic development to receive and evaluate financial information received from a business to discuss same and or deliberate regarding commercial or financial information that the city has received from a business that the city seeks to have locate, stay, or expand near the city, which the city is conducting economic development negotiations and or to deliberate any offer or any financial other incentives to any business prospects described above. Project Sweet Dreams. Section 5510572, deliberation about real property, deliberation concerning the potential purchase, exchange, lease, acquisition, sale, and or value of real property. Lampasas Trucking and Ready Mix 1550 North Highway US 281. 5.3, Section 551, personnel matters to deliberate the employment, evaluation, reassignment duties, and or discipline of public officer or employee, city manager, and or other personnel matters. Government Code, Chapter 551. And we will go.
I'll put 7. Okay.
Running, baby, running. All right. Nothing coming out of executive session tonight. We'll make a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.